Bukowski.
Phelps, back again.
Must have pumped a dozen rounds into him. Certainly sends a message. We'll hear about the morphine.
Over by the bandstand. You can see what's left of the owner, Eddie McGoldrick, 26, former Marine.
I know Eddie McGoldrick. He was a non-com in my old unit.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. Waitress said he recently came into some money and bought the club.
Who are the other Vics?
2 musicians, Biddleston and Bowe. And get this, they used to be in a 4-piece, but the trombone player and the drummer OD'd.
Don't tell me. Lamont and Tyree? We've met the rest of the band.
Now they're a no-piece.
Do you mind if we take a look around?
Be my guest. You might want a word with the hostess, too. I'll keep her company until you're ready.
Never the same, are they? Do we have a new source, or is this coming from what's left in circulation? Dozen packs to a carton, 100 cartons or more. Looks like a couple of months' supply. Well-maintained, custom case. Someone cared for this instrument.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
What's that click? Neat trick. The case must have cost more than the trumpet. We should follow up on the musician angle. He kept his stash close at hand.
When you're ready to have a civil conversation, we can try again.
Ma'am, I'm Detective Phelps, Administrative Vice Squad.
Welcome to the 111 Club, Detective. Feels like I've had half the LAPD in here today already.
Any idea who did the shooting?
No idea. It was my day off. If I had been here, honey, I'd be full of holes just like the others.
You want to level with me, miss, before we start taking an interest in you.
This place has been on the slide for years. Eddie turns up, buys the club, then we start getting visits from tough guys. Next thing you know, we have the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Are you getting the picture?
Tell us about Eddie.
Eddie didn't know a thing about running a nightclub. He came into some money and waltzed in and bought the place. The previous owner thought all his Christmases had come at once.
Where do you think he got the money?
My guess was that he was selling the sort of quality product that you don't need to advertise.
Thank you for your help, ma'am.
Eddie was in over his head, but he was a decent boss.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Do we know where we're going?
Bad luck, Eddie. Okinawa couldn't kill you, but knowing the wrong people in this city.
Never the same, are they? See it all.
These look brand new. Never fired. They haven't been degreased yet. We could check on the serial numbers.
Is this guy hunting for bear? Look at these things.
They're BARs. You get the odd guy who sneaks one of them home from the war. How did he get 3 of them? Army surplus morphine, Army surplus weapons, Army surplus valors. Sound familiar?
We should get back to the station and check the details of what exactly was lifted from that ship.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
I knew it would be safer out
Can you drive to this one?
All right, where to?
Real happy when you marry a girl, I'll find out later.
People are dying of overdoses. If you know anything about it, you need to tell me.
I can't help you.
A lot of cats are into the thing. There's nothing special about your boys.
You can do this the easy way with me, or I can call my partner back over. I can assure you he's a lot less sensitive.
You think your threats frighten me?
Black man don't supply nothing. You think there's a black man in this town holding on to 2 tons of morphine? He'd be dead in a minute. White man supplies, black man buys.
My partner mentioned a couple of names. You recognize them?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The only way you're going to get rid of me is to give me an answer.
I knew Cornell. We worked together a few years ago. He loved the music, but the music didn't love him.
What does that mean?
It means that he just wasn't that good. He was a sad, lonely cat.
Boys, take 5 minutes, please. I need to have a private word with the officer. Why do you ask people to risk talking about a subject that could have them jailed?
Drugs are against the law, Elsa.
You're so full of courage, you have never felt ashamed.
This is getting us nowhere.
Do you think you'll win your war against narcotics?
It's not my war. It's against the law. My job is to prosecute the laws of this city.
Do you think you can stop people from needing drugs, detective?
I'm asking the questions here.
Then why do you come to me with your stupid questions? You know who controls the drugs in this city.
It's not enough to just survive, Elsa. You have to try and make the world a better place.
Brave words, and very noble. But words are just words, Phelps.
She's right. We need to pay a visit to the mixer.
Cohen? Do you know where to find him?
This time of day, you'll find him holding court at the Macambo.
He can wait. There's something I need to be sure of. Give me till tomorrow morning.
LAPD, we're looking for Mayor Cohen. I believe he has lunch here.
There's not going to be any trouble, is there?
Which table?
Number 3, if you'll follow me.
You drove me up to Mulholland? And we did nothing.
When the hell's the food gonna arrive already?
LAPD. We have some questions
Hi,
regarding...
Mickey. How's it hanging?
Fine. Just fine, Roy. I see you brought Iga Beaver along. Hope he's not going to put the shakes on me again.
Cole Phelps, Mickey Cohen.
Good afternoon.
He has manners. Aren't you a little green for this kid?
Meet Johnny Stompanato, Cole. He has the biggest schlong in Hollywood and the smallest gun. Or maybe that's the other way around. I can never quite remember.
You're a funny guy, Roy. Haven't I always said what a funny guy Roy is? And how much fun it would be to get together with him sometime?
Poor Johnny. He's the dark, sensitive type. He's a serviceman too, Cole. Johnny was at Okinawa.
You were in the crotch?
6th Marines.
The lieutenant who won the Silver Star up on Sugarloaf. I've heard of you.
Something like that.
All right, have we finished flirting? You got something to discuss, Roy? Or are you going to stand around beating the meat while my lunch gets cold?
We have some questions.
Do I need my lawyer?
Your brother-in-law, Lenny Finkelstein, was selling stolen morphine. He had 1/3 of the shipment.
Old news, kid. I don't know anything about what Lenny was up to.
So I'm supposed to believe that you don't know what happened to the rest of the shipment?
Lenny, God rest his soul, was a moron. He was family, though, and I haven't made a beef about that, so count yourself lucky, kid. The H is a filthy habit, and I don't condone it. The simple solution would be to have all the dope fiends put down.
So you don't know where he got the morphine?
Kid, ask a question you might get an answer to.
We believe there's a link between a group of Marines and the morphine stolen from the SS Coolidge. One of those Marines was shot to death in a club last night.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
So you haven't heard anything about what happened at the 111 Club?
What can I say, kid? I'm shocked that in the land of opportunity, Uncle Sam's finest feel the need to resort to crime. It's a dangerous business. I can attest to that. I'd recommend they get out of the life. Quickly.
A few Negroes saying goodbye on the sidewalk will never make the papers, Mickey. But we had a judge in Pasadena say adios the other day. Prominent white people popping their clogs makes everyone nervous.
You know dope has never been my thing, Roy. It's always been for schmendricks like Jack D. and Jimmy Utley. But I'll ask around and I'll get back to you. Hey, you boys want some lunch? How about a drink?
We'll take a rain check on that. Come on, Cole, we're leaving. This way.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
Harry, you got a minute?
Sure, Cole, anytime.
You've been working the...
Hey.
So, how do we connect the docks robbery to the mess at the 111 Club?
500,000 Surretts loose on the streets of L.A.
That bum took a swipe at me, I put him down with my sap.
This is the crate we recovered.
That bum took a swipe at me, I put him down with my sap. I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Here's our backroom arsenal from the 111 Club. Enough to arm 3 companies. Some of these guys are from my old unit. They must have finally shipped home. Kelso, Sheldon. McGoldrick.
McGoldrick was on the boat?
Sure, we checked him out.
McGoldrick bought the 111 Club, Harry. His brains are all over the bar.
Looks like whoever stole the dope is getting muscled.
By whom?
Dragner or Cohen. They control the hop.
The canary says he'll sing, but only if I get him. The canary says
You know the way. You can drive.
Where are we going?
How well did you know the owner?
McGoldrick? Well enough. He was in my unit.
That's some cruel irony. Yes, sir, Bob?
All units, officers need help at 1384 North Bronson. 1384 North Bronson, shots fired. Any units to handle identified. Code 3.
Now! You're clear, go! Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist.
He's just a plain detective now, Chico.
Who's the jughead?
This is my partner, Roy Earl. We just want to find out what happened.
What happened is that someone took a shot at my bus. And then cops turned up and started treating me like I'm some sort of Pachuco punk. My people have been in California for over 300 years.
Very fucking admirable, Felix.
My bus is full of holes. I would have thought you'd want some answers. My bus is full of holes. I would have thought you'd want some answers.
Nice day for it. All these cops, it's got to be something big, right?
Phone number and restaurant table. It's one of the BARs. You hear anything about the big heist on the Coolidge?
Yeah, I heard about it.
So what happened?
Not much. The cops came and interviewed me and all the other guys on the ship.
I was down at the 111 Club this morning, waiting for the medical examiner to scrape Eddie McGoldrick's brains off the bar. You want to tell me anything about that?
I heard that Eddie came into some money. Too bad he didn't keep a low profile. It was a tough break to get through Okinawa and then have to buy it back home.
Who's shooting at you, Felix?
How the fuck do I know?
The dead guy on the roof works for Mickey Cohen. Why would Cohen want you dead?
Man, I don't know anything about Mickey Cohen or any of those gangsters.
Your name was in the sniper's notebook. Level with me, Felix.
Cohen thinks because we were on the boat, we have the morphine. Courtney's meeting those guys to sort it out.
Courtney Sheldon?
Yeah. You remember Sheldon, don't you, Cole?
We'll be in touch, Felix.
You heard that Jack is in L.A.?
I saw his name on the manifest.
He's been here a couple of months. Sure glad to see you got over your wound, Lieutenant. I mean, Detective.
Pretty cool customer.
He's been under fire before.
You buying his story?
Not for a minute. Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Jack Kelso.
Just a second. Jack Kelso, apartment 4, 1408 North El Centro Avenue, Hollywood.
Thanks. You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed? Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead.
Jack? Do you know that there's a gang war going on in LA trying to recover that stolen morphine?
That has nothing to do with me.
I'm sure it would be gripping to hear more of your life story, boys, but the truth is, I don't give a fuck. You were on the boat, Kelso. What happened?
Do you really think a bunch of Marines could muscle in on the dope rackets in this town? Between the Vice Squad and the mob, I hear it's pretty sewn up.
You'd better watch your mouth.
Did you know that Eddie McGoldrick recently came into money and bought a nightclub?
No, I didn't know that.
And you didn't know that some mobsters blew his brains out last night?
No, I didn't.
You heard that a crate of BARs went missing?
No, I didn't.
I saw Felix Alvaro today.
Good. How was he?
A little pale. One of Mickey Cohen's goons had emptied about 60 BAR rounds into the bus he was driving. A public bus, in the middle of Hollywood. Are you going to tell me what's going on? Or do more innocent people have to die?
Yeah, and what's in it for you, Cole? Newspapers? More glory? Another promotion? Another medal at the expense of men who fought for their country? Count me out.
What do you know about the Army surplus robbery from the Coolidge, Jack?
What I know is that on 3 separate occasions you would have been dead if it weren't for me. I don't know anything about the robbery.
People are dying because morphine intended to help servicemen is being used on the street. Now we have guys from our old unit being killed by mobsters. We can put 2 and 2 together, Jack.
Gratitude isn't a concept that has much effect on you, is it, Cole?
Answer the question, Jack. Let's get this over with.
I was interviewed when the robbery took place. I don't have anything further to add.
Jack, we just want information.
Bullshit, Cole. Did you seriously believe that dragging me down here would get me to give up my own guys? You call yourself a Marine? Trying to make a name for yourself with this shitheel? Look at this chump with his $200 suit and $2,000 car.
How many more friends of yours are gonna get plugged today?
Talk about.
Go on, get after him.
They just walked up.
Go on, get after him.
They just walked up and.
Go on, get after him.
An LAPD file. We have a traitor in our midst. All of the names on the list have a hit team assigned to them. Cohen is meeting with Sheldon tonight.
We need to get to those guys fast, otherwise there'll be no case.
Can you drive to this one?
It's gotta be something.
All right, where to?
All these cops. It's gotta be something big, right?
They're taking out all the guys from the show.
Getting close. Steer him off the tar. Getting close. Steer him off the tar. Getting close. Steer him off the tar.
You're behind the wheel.
Where are we going?
Tell Courtney. Bad luck. It was worth a try. It was worth a try. God. Polar Bear Ice Company. You really did it. Wonder whether it was worth it.
Most people never get the chance to be rich. Wouldn't you risk it?
Looks like Sheldon is bringing his own fire team with him.
Juski, Beckett, Goldrick, Driscoll, these are good guys. Why did they get wrapped up in this thing?
Not everyone has your unwavering restraint in the face of temptation, Cole.
This isn't looking good. I feel like the fat kid at the back.
I'm gonna put out an 8.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Do we know where we're going?
Remember the dead lady we found on the train? He solved the case. Booked some.
I knew it wasn't safe.
Got a
around here
stakeout down on
anymore.
2nd later tonight.
You're in interview too, Phelps.
Sheldon, is this your attorney?
No, detective. This is Dr. Harlan Fontaine. He came down here to help me out.
How do you do, sir?
You stole the morphine from the Coolidge.
You can't prove that.
Let's see if I can try. And what is your relationship to Sheldon, sir?
Tutor, mentor. Mr. Sheldon is a medical student of mine. He has a very bright future.
Oh, that's nice to know. Too bad all of your war buddies won't get to see your graduation. I would have asked Beckett or Majewski or Driscoll about their involvement, but that's difficult, considering they're all dead. That leaves you, Sheldon.
You can't blame their deaths on me, Phelps.
You're lying, Courtney. The other guys aren't smart enough to attempt something like this. You either give it up, or I go after Jack for it.
And how do you prove that, Cole?
We know about your showdown with Cohen. We found notes on your guys.
Cohen is hitting our old dude. He believes we have the morphine. I told him that we don't have it. And that's the truth. Isn't it, Doc?
I believe Mr. Sheldon. I think he's telling the truth, Detective.
You were on the ship, Sheldon.
Yes, that's correct.
So you had opportunity.
But it doesn't mean that I was involved.
So you don't mind that the mob executed McGoldrick, Driscoll, and Beckett to get to you?
I don't know why you're trying to pin this on me. Where's your proof?
Beckett had a message for you before he died. Bad luck. It was worth a try.
I feel bad about Beckett, Phelps. He was a hard charger. Those guys deserve more. I don't blame them for taking their shot.
Have you finished, Detective?
I'm just getting started. You have an answer for everything, Courtney. Let's hope Jack does, because now I'm going after him. Is there anyone you're not prepared to sacrifice?
Jack is not in this. He's a good guy.
You or Jack, Courtney. I don't care who goes to jail. I just want the morphine off the street.
What are you offering, Cole?
Don't be ridiculous, son. This man is gambling.
What's your offer?
Okay, everyone. Keep it down. Cole Phelps joins the arson squad today. How'd you like porking that German whore, Phelps? Phelps is up before a review board in December. Until then, he works the arson desk. End of story. Phelps.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what you did or didn't do, Phelps. I hear you're a good case man. But if you fuck up on my detail, I'll have you out of here before your feet touch the ground. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
Cap, we don't want a fucking rat like Phelps. Can it, Tilden? Phelps, I'm partnering you with Herschel Biggs.
I don't do partners. You know that, Cap.
You do now, Biggs. Social basket cases like you two should get along just fine. Biggs will show you the ropes, Phelps.
This is arson. There are no ropes.
It shouldn't take long, then. Start with these two. House fires. 326 South Kenmore Avenue. Steffen's family was out of town when it happened. Then go to 4414 Rosewood, family by the name of Sawyer. Fire brigade will be on location.
Are they suspicious, Captain?
That's for you to find out, Detective. Now get out of here. Both of you. Get out!
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free. I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that death.
He's only a writer. He can't really help.
Bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
You know the way. You can drive.
All right. Where to?
Dirty cop from the newspaper. Some of the bitch that go out with the cop.
Recently serviced. Could be something to go on.
Mr. Steffens? Cole Phelps and Herschel Biggs, LAPD. I know it's a difficult time, but could we have a word?
Don Steffens.
You were out of town.
We won a prize. We had a wonderful time. Came home to this.
Do you still have the tickets?
Sure.
It's a formality, but we'll need to speak to the issuing agent. Can you tell me any more about the prize that you won, Mr. Steffens?
Weekend at Catalina Island. My wife got this flyer in the mail from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Did you enter any kind of competition?
My wife filled in a flyer. The lady just rung up and told us we won. It's the first time I ever won anything.
The redevelopment fund. Did they offer to buy you out?
They're building new houses. They showed their money and most of the neighborhood just packed up and walked away. But I never bargained with them.
Everyone else is selling, but you're the holdout, aren't you?
I was the last. I thought I could hold out for a better price. Now, my house is the center lot.
So now you have to take the price regardless.
Looks like it. I've got no choice. I have to put a roof over my family.
That's all we need for the moment, Mr. Steffens.
All right.
Knocked down his wife.
Phelps, 1247.
Detective?
I need information on the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Yes, Detective. Just checking. The fund is a semi-government agency established to speed up the building of GI homes. It has private investors as well as a government endowment.
Huh. Do you have an address for them?
There is one listed here, corner of Beverly and Mariposa.
Thank you. You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
Have there been any other house fires?
Hi, Albert. We've got this case.
Hey, Biggs. You have a partner? What gives?
This is Cole Phelps. You may have read about him.
Oh, now I get it. Hello, Phelps. Welcome to the netherworld of arson. Family of 4 found dead in their beds. Heater explosion.
Another one.
Looks that way. Insta-Heat Model 70. Before you get excited, we get a couple of water heaters a month go back. Take a look around the yard and see what you can find.
How about the insurance companies write these incidents up as acts of God? Hey, Biggs! Is this significant?
Hurry, you can still catch up.
Stop! LAPD! We've got an ID on the fire brother. Stop right there! What's your name?
You're a naughty boy, aren't you, Herbert?
I keep myself to myself.
Cigarette in a matchbox gives you a 5 or 6 minute delay. You want more time, you use a mosquito coil. Don't you, Herbert?
You light this fire, Herbert.
Hell no. I heard it over the fire radio. Sounded sweet.
When you finish following your leads, come and see me at the fire station. I have a theory about this.
Will do, Lynch. Take this guy in. We might want him for questioning later.
You got it, Detective.
Why have you got such a hard on?
Will this make it into the paper?
You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
Delicious and creamy Spencer's Root.
Detective. The Sawyer family, Rosewood Avenue. Here they are, Steffens. Tell us about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
There's not much to tell. They run a promotion. Our promotions mailing list covers half of LA.
So they are not a government agency?
I don't believe so. Government organizations don't usually get involved in promotions.
I'm told the tickets were a prize.
Yes, they were.
You do a lot of these prizes?
Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
While the Sawyer family were supposed to be at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky?
Christ. I'm sorry to hear that.
Can you tell me who offered the prize won by the Sawyer family?
Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who has won.
Thanks for your help.
No problem. I just wish I could do something for that family.
You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now.
I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you?
Good man, Cunningham. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed? Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address?
Great partners must think alike, Murphy.
Alicia and her investors in the Suburban Redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind. Lynch says we should visit him at Fire Station 32.
Who exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
Officially opening the nationwide March of...
We came as soon as we could.
I swear.
Lynch.
This town is going
Biggs,
straight to hell.
you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Good, your regulator's in position. Okay, I'll light your pilot, turn the gas on.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on the gas.
Read about the Carlson case in the paper?
You know the way. You can drive.
All right. Where to?
See him? Saw the Facebook paper. Looked that case.
Show?
LAPD.
3 blondes walk into a bar. You think one of them would have
Are we
seen
going
it?
to the Mocambo this Friday?
You sure that's not that crazy cop that almost ran me over?
Phelps, a war hero who was awarded
We wanted to move in together when we're not even married.
sued for divorce by his wife after being caught in an illicit affair with a German drug addict. The LAPD.
How bad is he? Come on, you can tell me.
Oh, Susie, you are so bad.
We wanted to move in together when we're not even married.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
You're telling me that you've never had any problems with this heater?
Look, we've changed the design since the Model 70.
These things are still being installed?
It's the demand. None of us could keep up with the amount of housing going up. At the budget end, we're still using some of the old stock. We are installing 100 heaters a week. They're not all faulty.
They're not all safe either.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
I think you're lying, Rasik. I think some of your men aren't fully licensed. You're desperate to cover your sales.
And how are you going to prove that, Detective? Name me one of my guys who would have overlooked a fault like this.
What about Reginald Varley?
You know about Varley. He's on the run for a divorce interstate. It's not so bad.
You in the habit of hiring criminals, Rasik?
I need guys, Detective. This boom is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There, around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
This is a long shot. We are not going to roust that whole list.
I want to run it by R&I, cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Real happy.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
For love, and you find out later she's got money.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Cutner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter, previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew, charged for contempt of court, attempted murder, plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady. Your employment roster is quite the... Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
Stay off
Here.
the moonshine,
Happy now?
bud.
Stick around, Mr. Rasik.
We wanted to move in together when we're not even married.
Clemens is a fellow traveler.
day. What do you think? We wanted to move in together when we're not even married. His pal needs a day. What do you think? His pal needs a day. What do you think? We wanted to move in together when we're not even married.
Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine.
We wanted to move in together when we're not even married.
Ryan wants the world to be a better place, don't we all?
We wanted to move in together when we're not even married. His pal needs a day. What do you think? His pal needs a day. What do you think?
The company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive.
We wanted to move in together when we're not even married.
Barley has a problem with bugs.
His pal needs a day. What do you think?
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasik?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice. Mind if I leave you to it? I got work waiting.
3 birds. Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Where to, Phelps?
I gotta have.
Right here by Miss Evelyn Knight.
This is 1947, not 1927. Of course a girl can ask a fella out.
You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
You know Reginald Barley?
No. Can't say I do.
Detroit PD is after Reginald Barley for murder. You want us to run you in for aiding and abetting, Clemens?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I know about Varley is he gets kickbacks from some developer. He does their work first, spreads it around if he can.
You were licensed and worked for InstaHeat?
I contract for them. So what?
InstaHeat hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mud shark of a wife gets awarded it in the settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
You and Ryan are fifth columnists.
And how do you figure that, wise guy? What proof do you have? Been following me to meetings?
We found a pamphlet in your locker, Clemens. We can add your name to the register. HUAC might want to interview you.
That shit was from Ryan. He's always pushing that shit on people. Drives me nuts. He's got it in for the company.
All right, Clemens. You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy.
You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
or I will shoot. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
All right. Where to?
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball. Move in! Why did you run, Ron?
We have 3 suspects.
Can you drive to this one?
As much as I'd like it to be, Chapman, I think it's one of the other 2 guys. Let's get to the station and close this case.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case was thrown
I have 2
out.
suspects.
Phelps, you got nothing. Biggs, Ryan's waiting for you in interview 1. Varley's in 2.
Hey, Hopkins, you practicing your asshole routine again? Come on, Phelps.
Phelps, I think his name is. He brought in the case of that poor lady killed near City Hall.
Save yourself some time and get this thing off your chest.
If that's your opening gambit, you better try again.
So you want to change the world, Ryan?
Yes, I do. So does every reasonable person.
And you're doing your part?
Yes, I am.
Does that include sabotaging water heaters to destroy a company?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is industrial sabotage, Ryan. It's all part of your campaign.
You're delusional, detective. What campaign?
Your locker is full of pamphlets. Clemens told us how you were always foisting them on people.
Sure. I spread the pamphlets. A guy has to do something. Insta-heat heaters break down every day. They're still peddling the same lousy design that they lifted from Hephaestus.
Insta-heat bought out Hephaestus?
Them, Vulcan, Pyro, and a bunch of other companies.
And you still work for them?
A guy has to work.
And the directors of the company. How do you feel about them these days?
You work it out.
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
If you know enough to do your job, you know enough to do that repair. You're lying, Ryan.
And how do you think you can prove that?
Your boss at InstaHeat said that you've all been trained to do it. It's a common repair. Are you calling him a liar?
Okay, so I know how it's done. But what would be the point? You just end up with a gas leak and then a small fire when you turn the pilot back on.
And if you didn't reset the pilot and the gas spread, what was the cause of the fire in your own home, Ryan?
I won't tell you.
What can you tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nothing.
I think Suburban is a front for your anarchist buddies. They're arranging for people to be out of town while you burn their houses down.
Suburban? What's that got to do with me? That's Farley's bilk. He's the one with the cozy agreement with those fascists.
You have a history of violence.
I have no such thing.
You were charged with attempted murder, Ryan.
It was a court case. No criminal liability was the verdict. They said that they couldn't have known that the faulty heater installation would cause a fire. All I know is I lost my whole family. And the company that was responsible got away with it. What would you do?
Which company?
Hephaestus Water Heater Company.
That's it for the moment, Ryan.
So I can go?
Sure. As soon as your red friends storm the building and carry you out, you'll keep your seat until we decide how long to lock you up for, knucklehead.
Let me guess. You're lost in my eye.
I think Ryan is our man. But procedure says we eliminate all of the suspects. Let's speak to Varley.
Mouthpiece first strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though. I'm flat out on new installations.
Why are you lying to me, Varley? If Suburban wants their new installations completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though. Because he still wouldn't sell.
Word is, you're in the pocket of some property developer?
Never. I got principles.
How did Suburban put the squeeze on you? Did they find out about your record?
There's no way you can link me to Suburban. You're wasting your time.
Ryan says you offered to cut him in on the kickbacks they were offering. He'll testify in court.
Suburban, they got real time pressure on getting some of the big developments finished. There's some big date that they can't afford to miss. So yeah, I took their money. But so did a lot of guys, all right? Carpenters, electricians, plumbers. It's no big conspiracy.
What would reversing the diaphragm of an Insta-Heat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
I don't believe you, Varley. I think Suburban wants homeowners who don't want to sell out of the way.
I think you're out of your mind. Where is the evidence that I have done anything to contribute to this fire, huh?
Arsonists use cigarettes and mosquito coils as time delay fuses. We found an open box of mosquito coils in your locker.
Whoa, hang on! Those things, they belong to Ryan, all right? He asked me to hold them because his locker's full of stupid pamphlets. I thought he used them for camping.
We're done for now.
So what happens?
You're either going back to Detroit to face a murder rap, or you're staying here to answer for these arsons.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence. I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk. Mouthpiece first stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Hey, you think those vice boys get in on the side?
Matthew Ryan, I'm charging you with committing a series of arsons and for the murders of Hank Sawyer, Edwina Sawyer, Henry Sawyer, and Jessica Sawyer.
You're putting an innocent man away here. Do you hear me? I didn't set any fires. I didn't kill that family.